They eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. It says, but it says, whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. All right. So we just heard two different scenarios. We heard a scenario of the Lord of when he will come get you, and we heard the scenario of the Lord of when he won't come and get you. All right. He said this is the time where he's sticking his hand out. All right. Where he's giving you a chance to turn in his reproof. All right. This is the time that you get, and if you don't recognize that, then hey, that's that. So let me go to back to Psalms again. This is Psalms 120. I'm gonna start at the first verse. This is Psalms chapter 120, verse 1. It says, in my distress, I called unto the Lord and he heard me. So we already know that these guys are calling unto the Lord, and if the Lord heard them, then they obviously had to have turned to his reproof. All right. They obviously had to be men that were trying to keep the commandments of the Lord. All right. Men that actually loved the Lord. Because the Lord just said, if you hate knowledge, if you're a person who wouldn't turn to his reproof, if you don't want to hear none of his counsel, but you despise it, he said he's not going to deliver you. So these men who are telling you that the Lord delivered them are obviously men of the Lord that were doing what the Lord said. All right. So in my distress I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me. Verse 2. Deliver my soul, O Lord YAHAWAH, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. All right. So same thing. Verse 3. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? It says, okay, that's it on that one. All right. So we get Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah. Get to the 65th chapter, and I'm gonna start at the 22nd verse. This is Isaiah chapter chapter 65, verse 22. It says, they shall not. I'll start at 21. It says, Isaiah 65 and 21. It says, and they shall build houses and inhabit them. So this is basically letting you know this is when the curses are reversed for the Israelites. Because during the curses, it says that we would build houses and we wouldn't live in them. We would plant vineyards and we wouldn't gather the grapes thereof. All right. So Isaiah is basically saying what's going to happen when our curses are turned back. All right. When our captivity is turned back. All right. Verse 21. It says, they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. Verse 22. They shall not build and another inhabit. So we're not going to build something and then just so somebody else can come and live in it. All right. It says, they shall not plant and another eat. It says, as the days of a tree are the days of my people, which are the Israelites. It says, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. All right. Verse 23. It says, they shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord YAHAWAH, and their offspring with them. All right. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. All right. It says, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and the dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord YAHAWAH. All right. So the Lord said right here, and it shall come to pass before they call. So the Lord's already going to know when we're getting ready to call. He's saying before we even get ready to call, he's going to hear us. All right. He's going to be answering us in the middle of us calling. All right. We'll get this next one. The book of Zechariah, chapter 13. I'm going to start at the 9th verse, all right? Or at the 8th verse. Hold on, let me see. It's like I lost my page. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord YAHAWAH. That means all the land, all right? It says, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, all right? It says, but the third shall be left therein. So if the whole land was divided into 3 parts, he's saying that 2/3 of that land, and this is the Lord saying, because remember it says, thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH. It's saying 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2 parts of that land is going to die, all right? It says, but the third shall be left therein. But the third part of the land is going to be left therein. It says, and I will bring the third through the fire and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord YAHAWAH is my God, all right? So we know this is talking about the Israelites, all right? 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, all right? And he's going to save a third. He said that third is going to call on his name, and he's going to hear him, all right? Now we know that it says that the Israelites are like the stars, in the sky, or like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted, it can't be measured. So 2/3 of our people being destroyed, that's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? But a third is still a lot of people, all right? It's not anywhere near as many people as 2/3, it's just a remnant. But that's still a lot of people that the Lord said that he's going to save from the nation of Israel, right? And they're going to know his name, all right? As it said, they're going to call on his name. That third that's going to live, they're going to call on his name, all right? Now, let's see here. So I'm going to go to Acts. We get the book of Acts. This is Acts chapter 2, verse 20. It says, the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of the Lord come. Verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Now people think that because it's saying whosoever, it's talking about the entire world, but you have to ask, who was he talking to when it's saying whosoever, all right? If I'm in a room full of Christians and I say, oh, and I'm in a church and I say, whosoever brings the first offering here is going to get a reward. I mean, that's a stupid analogy, but you know, whosoever. That doesn't mean I'm talking to everybody walking around the street. I'm talking to the people that are sitting right here, all right? That's why when you read the next verse, verse 21, it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call in the name of the Lord YAHAWAH shall be saved. Verse 22, it says, you men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, the man approved of God among you by miracles. This is letting you know that he's talking to the Israelites, all right? He's not going to, why would he be talking to the whole world and just all of a sudden just start talking to Israel right there? No, there's Israelites in front of him. He's telling them whosoever, but these are the promises that were made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob anyway. If you weren't of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, this isn't talking about them, all right? It's talking about the people that the Lord delivered out of the wilderness, or I mean out of Egypt, and delivered them into the wilderness. The Israelites, the same people, all right? So it says, it shall come to pass, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord YAHAWAH shall be saved, all right? We just read the scripture before that, they shall call on my name, all right? So whoever these people are, the Israelites, they're going to know the Lord's name, all right? All right, so from there, let me get Joel. This is Joel chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 31. It was exactly what we just read in the New Testament. It says, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord YAHAWAH come. Verse 32, right? It says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord YAHAWAH shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord YAHAWAH has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. So right there is telling you specifically that when you go to Acts and you read the scripture that is being reiterated in Acts, it comes from right here out of the Old Testament, all right? And when you read what the Old Testament says, it says, in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance. So that way it shouldn't be any mystery to you why in Acts, after you read that scripture, it says, you men of Israel, hear these words, all right? It shouldn't be any mystery that the Lord's talking to the Israelites, all right? But like I said, the Bible's written in a tricky way, you know, to catch people up and to be a stumbling block to some of our own people, all right? So from there, let me get this script. This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 13. It says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord YAHAWAH shall be saved. This is the same thing, all right? And this is all over the Bible. It gets real repetitive, but the scriptures are repetitive, all right? The Lord uses his prophets to repeat things over and over and over again, all right? So it might seem like we're being repetitive, but that's because the scriptures are repetitive.